Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? I'm catching up again with you on my labiaplasty in the last 5 days. When I left you last time, I had just seen the doctor and the nurse following up my crisis, and so what has changed since then? They removed a couple of knots on my sutures, and that has helped quite a bit. There are still some pieces of suture poking out of the labia, but it's not nearly as uncomfortable as it was, so that is an improvement. On the other hand, and much more catastrophic, I am continuing to lose labia skin on the labia minora, or the majora that he had stitched up to be a new minora. And I become increasingly concerned that this is going to go the way of my original labia minora that happened during vaginoplasty. And that just all became scar tissue around the introitus to the vagina. So I really hope that doesn't happen. It may at least give a little bit of shape to the lips, but yeah, it's super depressing, actually. Just to not be too depressed, I had to meditate before making this video. I'd love to comment about my bad experience on one of the YouTube videos about Dr. Stranix, and because it was by the University of Virginia, they told me to contact them for I can't remember the exact wording, but it's basically a patient liaison. And so I did, and shortly after that I received a call from the woman who manages Dr. Stranix's work and the head of the plastic surgery department. And he had a bunch of questions for me, and I explained as best I could. Hopefully that is somewhat helpful for other people, and they won't have to deal with this nightmare that I have, where I'm just full of bitterness and regret about having surgery there for my labiaplasty, which has been unusual. I mean, all the other doctors I've worked with there have been great. I'm thinking maybe Dr. Stranix is just thinking he can do more than he can do. I don't know. Or he's certainly not doing enough to communicate all of the risks and outcomes that we would recommend. I mean, that would be real, you know? I mean, I don't think he really properly explained his procedure. He was very short, and I have seen nothing to show that things are going to change, but I really don't know. I just haven't heard anything. I'm still also waiting to see if I can see a psychiatrist. I don't think that's going to help anything, honestly, but there was going to be a social worker who was looking into seeing if I could get someone seen by somebody sooner, and I have not heard anything back about that, so I don't know. So yeah, I was, there was part of my labia that had disappeared on the lower left side before, and now it's starting to happen on the upper right side. Like I said before, the fat grafting distribution is kind of uneven. That might have to get fixed. Certainly I won't be doing anything to fix the labia, because that has already been a nightmare and a half. And I don't know about the vaginal opening. That's still a pending issue, and we'll have to see how that goes. Don't really feel like I want this doctor to do anything more with me. but I don't know if there's another doctor that could. There is one other doctor, I believe, that does these surgeries, and I had a good experience with him before as my urologist, so that could be a possibility. But ultimately, probably not. Probably won't do it, even if it is bad. Is it worth risking another surgery? That's probably a no. Probably not. Anyway, so yeah, it continues to be a traumatic experience. I said 5 days, it's actually closer to 6 days because I couldn't really do it at the end of the day yesterday, this video anyway. And when I looked this morning, there was more changes to the healing. So I'm just trying to deal with it at this point. I did talk to the nurse about this again, and she says the best thing you can do is just wait for it to heal. And because I was asking, is there anything we can do? It's driving me crazy just watching my labia disappear in front of my eyes. But I'm not being given anything positive to do, aside from keep it clean, and don't be too rough with it, of course. Granted, I would like to have sex more, but I want to have it heal better too, so that's much more important. Looking on the inside of the vagina this morning, actually no, last night, I discovered that there were a bunch of lesions sort of on the introitus, where you go from the inner labia to the vagina, and they're very even, as if they were suture lines, but I don't see any sutures there, so I don't know what it is exactly, but there are a bunch of basically raw spots, and I don't know exactly what could be causing that, aside from dilation. So I might actually skip dilation a few days. We'll see. I certainly don't feel like I need it. I'm not tight or anything like that, and it's a little nerve-wracking because the doctor is away from the office right now. So even if I did have an issue, I don't know what I could do. Yeah, it's pushing me towards working on my detachment, especially from my body, and I don't like being detached from my body. I don't like disassociating. I feel like that's really harmful and toxic, but it's kind of where I'm being pushed by the situation. And I've talked to my therapist. That wasn't really much help. I talked to a girlfriend, which was nice. At least, I have that connection with her. But, there's really not much I can do at this point. It's not as serious as like losing a leg or something, but it's similar. And you are losing a fundamental, important part of yourself, and you're not getting it back. So there's a lot of grieving that's going on. And if anything, I will keep visualizing all the lovely parts of the vulva that I want back to be growing back. And God, I hope it works. Please, may we all be blessed and perfect and whole and have the bodies that we truly love to have, and be helped perfectly as if guided by angels, because truly we are. Be blessed. Be at peace. Be made whole. Be made perfect, even more than you already are. Live your own director's cut. Because life is a design project. Life is an art project. And you have to invent it how you want to live it. I love you. Aloha.